Hey, what's going on, guys? It's K-Dog's Kennel coming at you here on YouTube. Feels like it's been forever since I've been up in my office, and essentially it has. I've actually been doing a lot of video game streaming. Not too much commentary streaming, but I'm going to be trying to change that now that I am fully able to walk and whatnot after sustaining my own injury. But wanted to come up a little bit today and just to kind of talk a little bit about last night. And I can honestly tell you, last night, WWE had their Hell in a Cell pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever the hell they want to call them now. And I can honestly say Hell in a Cell was probably one of the better events I've seen in recent memory. I mean, I don't count WrestleMania because WrestleMania always has the tendency to be good because it's their biggest event of the year. One of the matches that was in a lot of jeopardy was obviously the main event between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins inside Hell in a Cell, due to the fact that Cody Rhodes had sustained a pectoral injury. Initially, now I don't know if it was in storyline that he got hurt on Raw, on the Go Home Raw, in the brawl with Rollins, but then apparently while weight training, he tore the pectoral muscle completely off the bone. WWE loved it throughout that entire match. Cody comes out. You can see like through his robe, through the very where like his robe ended or whatever. You can see a little bit of discoloration. So you're like, okay, this guy's he's gutting this out through an injury. He gets in the ring. He takes off the robe, and my God, all you see is purple, like black, blue, purple, throughout his entire chest. I mean, the injury you could see clear as day in the thumbnail. And of course, all the wonderful people in the IWC are like, "Oh, it's a work. You can see it's a work because at the end, by the time the match was over, the bruising was starting to get lighter." Shut up! Like seriously, like every outlet has confirmed that Cody Rhodes has this injury. Now the question goes into why? Why did Cody Rhodes, let alone compete inside of a Hell in a Cell match? And a lot of times, this has happened before. Rey Mysterio and Edge at No Way Out in 2008 comes to mind. It's one of the first things that comes to mind. Rey tore his, it was either his biceps or his triceps. I don't recall. But he completely tore it off the bone. And he flat out said during the match, I mean, his whole arm was about the same color as Cody's chest. And he had said, look, it's torn. It's torn from the bone. Any injury where you tear a muscle, if you rip it off the bone, you can't tear it any more than that. If it's torn off the bone, it's not like you can tear it out of your body. You know what I mean? That's like, and much like Cody, it's torn. The pectoral muscle is torn off the chest. You can't tear it out of your body. So whatever happens is going to happen. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm sure throughout that match, I do want to talk about Seth Rollins' gear. Seth Rollins comes out in the polka dots, like Dusty Rhodes used to always come out as, which I thought was, kind of like, I'm sure he had Cody's permission. I'm sure he didn't everybody's like, oh, I can't believe Seth would disrespect Dusty Rhodes. It has nothing to do. I'm sure he went to Cody and like, hey, look, man, for the purpose of the feud, this is what I'd like to do. And I'm sure he had Cody's blessing to do that. But it didn't take long for Rollins to work on the chest. I might even do a full review of Hell in a Cell. If you'd be interested in that, let me know. I actually sat through the event, and I actually enjoyed myself. I actually enjoyed the pay-per-view or the whatever the hell it's called now. But I actually enjoyed it. There were some cringe spots where Seth Rollins had took a kendo stick and took the end of it and stuck it into Cody's where the bruising and all that was. He had a weightlifting belt that he'd be whipping Cody throughout the match, and I'm sure WWE dubbed some sound in when he hit him in the chest and where the injured pectoral was. But that was cringeworthy. That was a little difficult to watch because I don't care how much it's scripted. I don't care how much it's rehearsed. Having a legitimate injury like that and then taking a shot like that, I'm sure a lot of what Cody did in that match hurt like hell. And you know what? Not that Cody Rhodes is ever going to watch that video, but thank you, Cody. That was one of the best matches I've ever seen you in. Sorry about that. My phone rang. It was a potential spam call. But yeah, hats off to both men. Rhodes would end up winning with the crossroads in the middle of the ring. Now Cody is going to be out anywhere from, I've heard 4 to 8 months. I've heard 6 to 12. If you look at Triple H had a torn pec when he was in not Super Showdown, or might have been Super Showdown, or might have been Crown Jewel, one of the Saudi Arabia shows. He had a torn pectoral. He was out like 5, maybe 6 months. John Cena had a torn pec in 2007, and he was only out like 4 months. But then again, John Cena's a superhero, and he can heal himself when he's injured and that sort of thing. But hats off to Cody Rhodes. I had to at least come up and talk about Cody and the effort he gave last night at Hell in a Cell. A lot of people have been talking about, Cody being out until the Royal Rumble in 2023, winning the Rumble, and then potentially winning the WWE title and then bringing back the Winged Eagle. I have no doubt that Cody Rhodes is going to win the WWE title. It's just the way they're building him, the way they were building him. Obviously, he was a surprise at WrestleMania 38. And the way, he went over Rollins 3-0. He beat him at WrestleMania. He beat him at Backlash. I don't call it WrestleMania Backlash. I think that's the stupidest name on the planet. And of course, he wins at Hell in a Cell. Now he's got to take some time off. Sorry, I had a pop-up on my other monitor, but I think it's for Discord. But anyway, also over in AEW, I want to briefly touch on the 2 injuries over there. CM Punk is going to be out for an unspecified amount of time. Punk just won the AEW World Title at Double or Nothing, beating Hangman Adam Page. Came out on Dynamite, had a 6-person tag with FTR. It eludes me who they fought right on the top of my head, but apparently he was injured in that match. I've heard it was some type of a foot injury, a broken foot or whatnot, but he has to have surgery. He came out on Rampage, tears in his eyes. I mean, this is as legit can be. And it's heartbreaking because, a lot of people thought Punk was going to be in for a lengthy run or whatever the case may be. Punk, at first, I thought he was going to relinquish the title, which would have been even more heartbreaking. Punk states of all the things that hurts on him, his heart hurts the worst. But, like I said, it was emotional. I mean, he had tears in his eyes. I mean, he was legitimately upset. But instead, Tony Khan is letting him keep the belt. They will be doing some type of an eliminator tournament type thing where the interim AEW World Champion is going to be crowned at the crossover event coming up, Forbidden Door. And then that interim champion obviously will hold the belt until Punk is medically able to come back. Then there'll be some type of unification. Not exactly sure how long Punk is going to be out. A broken foot requiring surgery. You're looking anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks, if not longer. I know when I just recently broke my ankle in February, I was on the shelf for almost 8 weeks. So having surgery, I would imagine that's going to be prolonged. So best wishes to CM Punk. Hopefully he gets back sooner rather than later. And I mean, you're looking at possibly, I don't know if All Out would be an or what is All? Yeah, All Out or what's November's Full Gear. Maybe by the time Punk comes back. Also, news has broke that Bryan Danielson is also injured. His seems to be a minor injury. He's only going to be out, from what I've heard, anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. So I'm not really sure what's going on with him, but he's also on the show. So a lot of injuries going on right now in the world of pro wrestling. I mean, it's part of it. These guys go out there and compete and do this. Injuries are a part of it. I get it, but it's like, man, you're losing Punk, and Danielson's going to be on the shelf. Obviously, that kind of throws a wrench into Forbidden Door. It was supposed to be, from what it appeared to be, it was going to be Punk and Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. Obviously, that is now out the window. So I'm curious as to what they're going to do there. But the interim AEW champion, again, will be crowned at Forbidden Door. So there's some news bits for you guys. Programming note, Coming up, anybody who watches me knows that I am an avid supporter for GoodMicWork, Greg Morgan. I always try to catch his videos. I will be sponsoring a live review of Judgment Day 2000 coming up in the next few weeks. Greg has been under the weather as of late. He's been battling COVID. He's doing well. Seems to be on the better side of it. So, Greg, not that you'll ever see this video, but if anybody that watches Greg, that watches me, I have nothing but respect for Greg. I have been a Patreon supporter for the last couple of years. Absolutely love GoodMicWork, and I wish him nothing but the best. So that's going to do it for me, guys. I have got to grab something to eat, and then I've got to go to work tonight. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new. I will try to come up in my office and do more commentary like I said, since I got hurt. It's been kind of hard to get up and down the steps that lead into my office. So now that I'm fully healed, I should be able to do more of these. I also have some Do You Remembers on tap, Montreal Screwjob, the whole Benoit tragedy, which my actually great nephew suggested those, and also suggested the death of Eddie Guerrero. So those three Do You Remember topics are lined up. It's just a matter of finding the time to sit down and have the time. So thank you guys so much for watching again. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a thumbs up as it does spread the channel. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take